gender equality could lessen the pressure of bringing up a child. Another newspaper article shows that a couple wrote in stating their reasons for not having a child, perhaps high cost. Another article a guy wrote about Singapore's people being too career-minded and they need to have work-life balance. And a very important point is that high quality and parent-friendly childcare industry is much looked for. Following up, we see another newspaper article showing that the females felt that they could do more with more enforcement in the workforce, so they do not need to face penalty in their workplace. For example, if they take 3 months maternity leave, when they go back to work, they will not feel much challenge as compared to their other colleagues. As for polygamy, it's an obvious no-no. Another newspaper article quoted, "Good childcare services are expensive." Okay, here we come to this very familiar picture. Parents queuing up overnight at Nanyang Kindergarten for their perceived high-quality education. From here, we can tell that a holistic childcare system is indeed very much sought after. In this article, this person suggests that thinks that the baby bonus scheme is not practical enough, in the way that he feels that not everyone may be able to deposit $6,000 to get the benefits of childcare education. Finally, we come to our statement of issue. Singapore's total fertility rate has been decreasing away from our targeted rate of 2.1. Our population is aging quickly and TFR is a serious issue. We hope to improve TFR, achieve high population growth rate in order to meet Singapore's manpower needs and to ensure our national survival. Therefore, our recommendation statement, the restructuring of a preschool education, the increase in existing preschool education policies, and incentive schemes in Singapore. Our current status of having many financial incentives to create procreation, however, our TFR still remains low. Perhaps we could think of having a high-quality preschool education, such as other areas, which is, for example, we take a look at the Nanyang Kindergarten. We know that a high-quality childcare system is much sought after for. So perhaps we can touch on that instead of just financially. So we all know that affordable, accessible preschool education that caters to most Singaporeans is to be achieved. After brainstorming and considered several options in boosting TFR, we arrived at a few possible recommendations. One that strikes us the most is a quality, integrated preschool education. Work-life balance is needed, and also we are to improve the preschool educator, the image of it, to make it a more desirable career option, like raising the prestige of it. This way, we can know that the parents will know that their children are in the good hands of professional care and therefore can cope with their increased demands of their children. Our policy recommendation we wish to propose an integrated preschool education program, that of which models after a childcare center, in which consists of longer hours, whereas a kindergarten has lesser hours. Children here will be from 2 to 6 years old. This childcare system of having services starting from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. can therefore meet the needs of the working parents. Singapore can then contribute to the workforce for our economy as well. In this way, with more preschools around, the accessibility of the childcare services will be increased, therefore educating and developing the young. In this package of our policy recommendation, we are looking at having a national We are looking at having a National Education Council formed under MOE and MCYS to have an improved preschool childcare education system for early childhood education. Coordinate to understand and meet the needs of our parents to look after the children. Upgrade, such as working with stakeholders to provide and develop early childhood programs. Provide to develop suitable courses for potential early childhood educators. Publicize to improve the image of preschool programs and so on, and the strong branding of it. Also, we hope to raise the quality of preschool educators, such as providing a degree in early childhood education in NIE. In this way, because NIE, we believe is expert education, so it will be able to give the minimum requirements to suit our needs to have competent training for our potential preschool teachers. And this will also tap on the A-level students who will be interested in joining the childcare industry as well. Having a constant, steady brand in childcare education, this will help increase the salary, supply of preschool educators in Singapore. Therefore, also they being civil servants will also receive added benefits as well. In the other part of our proposal, we wish to propose a reallocation of a portion of the baby bonus to be brought forward from primary school level to preschool level. This is because of the dollar-to-dollar scheme, whereby some low-income group might not be able to meet it, discouraging parents from sending their children to preschool. So we hope that by doing this, we can encourage people to send their children to preschool and therefore lower the cost in raising a child. This would therefore benefit the low to middle income families. Minister of Finance announced the creation of a child development credit scheme which will pay for children's preschool childcare medical expenses. We are very happy that the government has made this move in a recognition that parents need help for preschool and childcare education. However, we hope that our suggested schemes could be possible add-ons. Finally, the last part of our proposal is the upgrading of preschools, such as the Preschool Development Fund. So for the qualifications of teachers to be upgraded, infrastructure to be upgraded, such as having more beds, having more playgrounds. In this way, a supportive platform of learning is formed through upgrading facilities, retraining of existing teachers with grants and so on, and letting them go to regional conferences to learn from the world. And therefore, this will all contribute to our integrated preschool education program. And also, with the upgraded teachers, facilities, we wish that all these are in hopes to increase our total TFR, our total fertility rate. Alright, now I would like to call upon two of my group members, Will and Wilfred, for the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you, Children Group. May I now invite, once again, the guest panel to comment on the proposal presented.
Okay, I'll go since I'm the only mom here on the panel. I think you addressed a lot of very good issues about children's care, childcare. Maybe we could have talked a little bit about why we're not having enough babies. And that's probably very relevant to your generation, since we hope that you'll all marry and have more than 2 or 3 kids. So perhaps that's a question we want to ask ourselves: why are couples who are married, what will bring the fertility rate beyond 2? Apart from money, which you've addressed very well, is it time? Is it access to convenient childcare? Is it the moms who want to juggle work, and heck, I sure as hell sympathize with that, juggling work and family time? That's not an easy task. Could employers play a role? Could the government perhaps think about cheaper rental for companies who provide crèche? A big company, if they provide a crèche for their employees, I bet the moms, the working moms or dads will be delighted. So there will probably be other things to consider about having more babies. Otherwise, great job.
Well, I'm single. I told Stella that I should not join the family unit at one point. Yeah, I think most of my friends tell me one thing, it's very expensive to have children. And I noticed that my friends who have gone overseas and live overseas have more than 3 children, up to 6. So is that one reason why the cost of having children here it's a bit high? And what you recommended is very good because I see all my staff having problem with preschool and even infant care. And the cost of bringing up a child, I think, is above $500,000. So if you think that you have 3, that's 1.5 million. And if you think you have 4, that's $2 million to bring up a kid. It's not just preschool. So for me, I have 12 godchildren. It's easier to borrow them and then return them. And then when they're most adorable, you borrow them and that's the best part of it. But I know NYF have a lot of couples after all the years. You should also have a little session with them and say, why are you not having kids? Or are you having kids? I think it's really a question for all of you here, I think, to play a role and really recommend whether is it the cost or is it our time? Is it very competitive in Singapore's market? Things like that. I think that's a real issue as well. Yeah. It's a multi-pronged, and this is one good one, but I think the cost of having children is really high. That's what I think.
The importance of preschool is not to be doubted, but whether on its own it can uphold a TFR by a large margin, I am very doubtful. It may help. Okay, for some parents, I think it's not going to make a big difference. But nevertheless, it's right to emphasize quality preschool education. I think I would have been happier had you come up with a recommendation that all those who participate in the forum vow to get married. That's a strong recommendation. It's an attitude problem. But in terms of affordability, if I may just point out to Elim, you'll find that those who can't afford to have children never have problems over affordability. They just have more children. And those who can afford, in fact, are the ones who do not want to have more than 1 or 2 or so. So there's that contradiction over there, which suggests that in fact having children is a rather complex issue for many people. They think through what they would like to have for themselves, for life, and for children's education and so on. And those were the questions asked by Susan earlier on. But I like the idea of emphasizing preschool education as a possibility of getting parents to emphasize the importance of education to have maybe more children.
I think it's a great idea, and I think given the limited time and space, I understand why you concentrate only on the preschool space. I think just one thing to add would really be to celebrate the importance and the experiences that you have as a family. So your council, right, could actually link in with some of the other agencies that promote and celebrate family life beyond just providing infrastructure. So I know many young people would have tons of money but still choose not to have a child. But again, if you feel that a child is important to the overall holistic development of the family, then that will be something that you'll be able to work around.
Thank you, Shalinger. Thank you, guys.